A paradise for tourists, now tainted by tragedy. Meghalaya, known for its lush hills, the warm hospitality and its unmatched beauty, is now at the center of a chilling mystery, a murder mystery, and a grieving family's cry for justice. 29-year-old Raja Raghuvanshi and his wife Sonam, tourists from Indore in Madhya Pradesh, had come to witness the famous living root bridges of Nongriat, and they were last seen on the 23rd of May after checking out of their homestay in Sohra. 5 days later, the husband, Raja Raghuvanshi's body was discovered deep in a gorge about 20 kilometers away from that homestay checkout. And Sonam's remains are still missing. The Sohra trek, the smiles, the plans, they've all gone. And this isn't just a crime, says Meghalaya's own Chief Minister, Conrad Sangma. He says this is the first of its kind incident that we're learning of in Meghalaya, one that has sent shockwaves through the tourism sector and amongst the local communities. But many questions remain. What happened after they checked out? Was this a premeditated crime or an opportunistic act? And where is Sonam? Because a clothing article of the wife has been recovered, but the mortal remains, well, not at this point in time. The Raghuvanshi family is demanding a CBI probe. The government says it will decide once the facts emerge altogether. And right now, it says too many details remain unclear. Let's listen in to what Conrad Sangma, the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, has to say on this entire murder mystery that's now come to light.
लेकिन ये भी इंसिडेंट जो हुआ ये बहुत अनफॉर्चुनेट है। मैं सबसे पहले तो अपना कंडोलेंसेस मैं फैमिली मेंबर्स को देना चाहता हूं और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है मैं फैमिली मेंबर्स को बताना चाहता हूं कि हमारे स्टेट की तरफ से, हमारे पुलिस फोर्स की तरफ से, इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंट्स की तरफ से ये हमारे लिए एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट केस है और जो यहाँ पे कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे हम कदम उठाएंगे। जो हमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन करना होगा हम पूरा इन्वेस्टिगेशन करेंगे ताकि हम इस इशू के जड़ तक पहुंचे और ये किन लोगों ने ये पर्टिकुलर ये ऐसा इंसिडेंट जो है किया है इन्हें हम लोग पकड़े।
Well, now Conrad Sangma has promised urgency, accountability and complete transparency, assuring that the safety and the reputation of Meghalaya must not be lost to fear. But for a grieving family back in Indore, no words will be enough unless answers are found and justice is served. Next on your screens, a relative of the victim.
सोनम की वहाँ पे छानबीन चल रही है और वहाँ पे मौसम थोड़ा सा बिगड़ा हुआ है वहाँ पे भी है और आज भी वहाँ पे छानबीन चली है जो उसमें सोनम की कोई भी खबर नहीं मिली है। प्रॉपर सहयोग शुरू से नहीं मिला वहाँ पे है, अभी 2-3 दिन से जो है सहयोग मिल रहा है। इस जगह पे सर्चिंग अभी कल भी हुई थी और आज भी सर्चिंग उसी जगह करी उन लोगों ने करी है।
ये बताएं क्या शुरू से सहयोग मिला है सरकार का?
सरकार का सहयोग तो अपने यहाँ से एमपी सरकार पूरा सहयोग में शुरू से मिला है, मेघालय से शुरू से नहीं मिला था।
एफआईआर हुई है क्या? हत्या की एफआईआर दर्ज कर ली उन्होंने?
हाँ, अभी हत्या की एफआईआर जो दर्ज करी उन लोगों ने।
बॉडी पे उनके कहाँ निशान थे जो
ये अभी बताया नहीं कुछ अभी इन्होंने।
अच्छा,
अभी कुछ नहीं बताया।
तो सामान क्या क्या मिला है जंगल में?
सामान जंगल में फिलहाल अभी उनका कुछ मिला नहीं है, सिर्फ मोबाइल बताया उन्होंने जी, बस इसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं है।
और सोनम जी का कुछ सामान मिला हो?
कुछ भी सामान नहीं मिला अभी, कुछ भी नहीं।
इनका भी सब सामान गायब है?
राजा का सामान भी जो है चेन अंगूठी जो है, चेन अंगूठी ब्रेसलेट पर्स ये सब गायब अभी।
ये पीछे बांग्लादेश बॉर्डर भी लगती है तो क्या लग रहा है कि कुछ अंदेशा लग
शक हो रहा है क्योंकि लोगों के सुनने वहाँ से आया तो है, तो यहाँ से जो भी कपल आते हैं नए उनको उसमें से लड़कियों को उठा के लिया तो।
Well, the bigger question now arises, will Meghalaya rise to the promise it has always held of being safe, serene and secure? But let's get into the nitty-gritties of the interrogation as well. Sandeep Mishra of News9 joins us here on the broadcast. Sandeep, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया। जाहिर सी बात है, इस बात में कोई संकोच नहीं कि इस दर्दनाक घटना ने उस फैमिली को बिल्कुल झकझोर दिया होगा। सीबीआई प्रोब की डिमांड चल रही है फैमिली की तरफ से, लेकिन वेपन मशेटी हो सकता है, इसके बारे में भी बताया गया। एक हथियार किस प्रकार का था, इंटर स्टेट पुलिस को अब तालमेल बिठाकर इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन करनी होगी। क्या नए फैसेट सब सामने आ रहे हैं, दर्शकों की किस तरह से सहायता करेंगे? संदीप, ओवर टू यू।
बिल्कुल, कभी यदि हम बात करें तो यह पूरा ही मामला काफी चिंता में बना हुआ है। पिछले तकरीबन 20 दिनों से इस पूरे मामले में जो परिजन है वो लगातार शिलांग में जो दंपत्ति है राजा और सोनम की तलाश में जुटे हुए थे। तकरीबन 11 दिनों की तलाश के बाद राजा का शव एक तकरीबन 2000 फीट नीचे गहरी खाई से मिलता है। साथ ही यदि हम राजा के शव की बात करें, शरीर पर विभिन्न तरह के हथियारों के वार की बात करें तो ऐसा प्रतीत होता है, यानी उनके भाई जो विपिन से बात की हमारी हुई, इस दौरान उन्होंने बताया कि राजा पर तकरीबन सब्जी या जो अनाज काटने वाले जो हथियार है बड़े बड़े, उन हथियारों का प्रयोग करते हुए उसके शरीर पर वार किए गए हैं, जिसके कारण कई जगहों पर गहरे घाव भी शरीर पर परिजनों को मिले हैं, जिसके चलते पुलिस ने उसका पोस्टमार्टम भी करवाया। पोस्टमार्टम के दौरान भी इन्हीं तमाम तरह की बातों का जिक्र पुलिस की जो फिलहाल पुलिस है उसके द्वारा भी किया गया कि पहले राजा की हत्या की गई, आप ठिकाने रखा गया है। साथ ही हमारी रोजाना इस मामले को लेकर परिजनों से बात हो रही है। उनके परिजनों के एक ही मांग है कि जिस तरह से फिलहाल पुलिस ने पहले दिन से पूरे मामले में लापरवाही बरती है, उसी के कारण उसी के कारण इस पूरे मामले में राजा की मौत हो गई, जबकि उनकी पत्नी सोनम लगातार चल रही है और इसकी तलाश अभी भी फिलहाल पुलिस के द्वारा की जा रही है। वहीं इस पूरे मामले में परिजनों की मांग है पूरे मामले की सीबीआई के द्वारा जांच की जानी चाहिए। सीबीआई इस पूरे मामले में जांच कर इस पूरे मामले में उचित कार्रवाई कर सकती है। साथ ही इस पूरे मामले में विपिन जो 15 दिनों से शिलांग में राजा अपने भाई की तलाश में जुटे हुए थे, उनका कहना है कि उनकी पत्नी जो सोनम है उसको संभवतः राजा की हत्या कर जो आरोपी लोग हैं, जो बदमाश लोग हैं, वह बांग्लादेश सहित कई अन्य जगहों पर उसका अपहरण कर ले जा सकते हैं। इसकी भी उचित स्तर पर जांच होनी चाहिए।
Absolutely. Sandeep helping us with the live details and the latest ones. Many thanks, Sandeep, for joining us here on the broadcast. So, essentially, the mortal remains of the wife missing. This will have to be an interstate police probe into the matter. The family has been alleging from day one there was a lot of lackadaisical, efforts by the police, that they were slow on their feet. Had they begun the search operations right in time, we would not be looking at this untoward situation where the entire couple has been murdered. They had been married only for about 20 days, had gone there for their honeymoon, and the honeymoon turning fatal for this couple. The body of the wife still remains missing. And take a look at this. A high security court complex that turned into a battleground. In a scene straight out of a crime thriller, gunshots rang out this morning, not on the streets but inside the Saket Court lockup. That's right. One inmate, Aman, has been confirmed dead. Two others, also convicts from Delhi's Tihar jail number 8, opened fire inside the court premises. Moments before legal proceedings were set to begin, the chaos unfolded at lightning speed. The assailants brought to court under tight security, somehow smuggled in weapons as well. The Delhi police personnel on duty retaliated instantly, and in that brief exchange of fire, Aman was killed and two other inmates sustained injuries. The question that now haunts everyone: how did armed convicts managed to smuggle firearms inside one of Delhi's busiest court complexes? And all three were inmates in Tihar. Two attacked Aman inside the court lockup. He was declared dead right away. Investigation is underway, and security lapses, insider collusion, or a pre-planned gang revenge? Those are some of the questions that the police will now have to look into. The Saket shootout is not just another crime, it's a security breach at the heart of Delhi's justice system. One that raises chilling questions about inmate rivalry, the systemic failure, and the ease with which our courts can be turned into crime scenes. As police launch this probe into the gang angle, the capital stares at yet another violent reminder: justice may be blind, but crime has eyes everywhere. Visuals from the Saket Court premises on your screens as well. These were convicts from Tihar jail number 8. The gunfight broke out inside the Saket Court lockup, where one convict named Aman was declared dead. The police retaliated instantly, which led to the other two convicts getting grievously injured in the crossfire. This is inside the Saket Court's lockup, where all the convicts were brought in. And the biggest question is that this is a high security zone. How could armed convicts come in? How were they able to smuggle those weapons inside? That's the bigger question. We've seen brazen melee attacks in the Rohini court and the courts on the outskirts as well. But what right now? That's the biggest question. Abhijit Thakur joins us on the broadcast with the latest details. Abhijit, over to you. What have you found out at the Saket Court premises?
what we are getting through our sources in Saket Court, and as the Bar Association Secretary informed us that this incident happened between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. when all under trials were in the lockup block of Saket Court premises, which we are also showing you in visuals. And this scuffle happened around then, and Aman sustained injuries when Jitendra and Jaidev, both under trials, they attacked on him when he was out there for the washroom. Police was deployed over there, but within few minutes this incident happened, and as soon as the police personnel reached on the spot, Aman was grievously injured as his head was banged on the wall of the toilet block. And this is how the incident happened. The police took him to the hospital where he was declared as brought dead. Police is investigating into the matter, but what primarily we are getting through the police sources is that they had an old animosity when the way back to 2024 when Aman attacked Jitendra's
This question that one needs to answer right now and one needs to ask as well is that how were they able to smuggle these weapons inside? What is this, a security lapse? Is the police also going to look at that?
Right now, the police sources are saying that no weapons were used in this attack, and he was only kicked and assaulted with his hand and legs, and were used, and no such weapons were used. What we are getting through the police sources, but some of the advocates were saying that some kind of weapons must have been used in this incident. However, the court officials and police officials are denying the fact that any kind of weapons were used, but such kind of incidents for sure raises questions on the court security and the security personnel deployed over here, especially in the section of under trial where under trials are kept in the lockup block of the Saket Court, Khazra number 5. Where they are all in the same hall. So if there is an old animosity between the under trials, this kind of assault can happen any time. So this is the point which is raising questions on the security arrangements for...
Back to you as and when you have more for us. Another altercation that took place in the Saket Court premises lockup. My colleague Abhijit telling us that in fact guns weren't used. The police is still probing that particular angle. It might have been a hand fight, a melee fight that led to the altercation. Aman's head went and banged on one of those toilet seats is what we're learning, which led to his death as well. But a detailed official statement from the Delhi police is being awaited on this particular front. Abhijit, many thanks for joining us and helping us out with the latest. All right, then, this is your India COVID tracker. Let's quickly race past the latest numbers by you. At least 564 new COVID-19 cases were reported in a single day, taking the total number of active COVID-19 infections to 4,866, with Kerala accounting for the highest number of infections at 1,373. And in response to the rising case count, Kerala Health Department has issued directives to all the government and the private hospitals. Maharashtra has logged about 510 cases, Gujarat 461, and West Bengal 432, with 100 cases being recorded in West Bengal in the last 24 hours alone. The national capital has recorded at least 457 COVID-19 infections so far. A total of 51 COVID-related deaths have been reported in the country since the 1st of January, the highest being in Maharashtra with 14 fatalities. Meanwhile, West Bengal reported, like I mentioned, 100 new COVID-19 cases according to official data available on Thursday morning, and this takes the active cases in the state to 538. 14 fatalities in Maharashtra, total fatalities standing at 51 since the 1st of January, about 4,000 plus cases that the country is dealing with. And amid the rise in the COVID cases across India, News9 spoke with Professor Amita Gupta, Director, Center for Innovation and Infectious Diseases Research, Education and Training, the CIIDRET at the University of Delhi. Dr. Gupta said that the new COVID variant is less severe but spreads faster than the previous strains. Listen in.
Today I have with me Professor Amita Gupta, Director, CIDRIC, Delhi University. She will be talking to us regarding how effective current vaccines are against COVID-19's new variant. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us how effective these vaccines are against the new COVID variant?
So the new COVID variants that have come up and are circulating right now in our country and worldwide are less severe in causing disease. They spread faster, but the symptoms are less severe, and therefore there is no need to panic. They have one or more mutations in the spike protein. Okay. However, the larger part of the spike protein is similar to the previous variants, and therefore there is a chance that the current vaccines will remain effective against the new variants also. However, the protection which is given by these vaccines is not very long-lived. That is why there is a need to take booster shots to renew the immune responses so that the new variant can also be taken care of.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, experts are now saying that COVID has become an endemic. Would you agree to this?
So, endemic is being said essentially because COVID is now not coming up as serious outbursts, but it is something which is remaining in circulation, okay, with variants coming up. So from that point of view, it can be said that it is no longer an epidemic or a pandemic. However, to say that it is endemic, that should not be taken as saying that it is now mild and we should not worry about it. We should still be aware of the fact that it is there in circulation. Okay, it does cause symptoms that need to be looked into. Therefore, if anybody experiences symptoms of COVID, it is important that they go for testing and they try to separate themselves from the other members around them.
Then shifting our focus here, social media influencer Sharmistha Panoli has been granted interim bail, but in a dramatic legal twist, the Calcutta High Court granted her bail with a bail bond set at 10,000 rupees, and she was arrested from Gurugram by the Kolkata police earlier. Panoli was accused of uploading a communal video that triggered massive backlash across social media platforms. Her arrest had also sparked a heated debate online with arguments over free speech, hate speech and selective outrage. The court has also ordered Panoli to be provided with appropriate police protection amid rising threats and online trolling. And just days ago, her bail plea was rejected. Today, that tide seems to have turned. Meanwhile, the case has also taken yet another turn, with an FIR now registered against the original complainant, Wajahat Khan Qadri. The police have now accused Qadri of uploading malicious and inflammatory content aimed at inciting communal tension and are actively searching for him after he went absconding. What began as an arrest over a video has now snowballed into a larger probe into hate content, digital provocation and the blurred lines of responsibility on social media. As the court battle plays out, this case is fast becoming a litmus test for how India polices expression in the age of virality, something that we all need to learn and go by.
शर्मिष्ठा को सिर्फ 3 शर्तों पे बेल मिली है कि वो अपना पासपोर्ट देंगी, दूसरी चीज कि वो उस इन्वेस्टिगेशन को ज्वाइन करेंगी, तीसरी सेटिस्फेक्शन ऑफ मैजिस्ट्रेट, वो अपने बॉन्ड्स भरेंगे। देखिए, ये देश में अभी गलत चल रहा है कि आप अरेस्ट कर लेते हैं बच्चों, स्टूडेंट्स को। कोई ये रियलाइज नहीं कर रहा है कि स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं उनका एक्सपोजर बहुत अलग अलग डिफरेंट है, तो वो जो देखते हैं वो बोलते हैं। हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान की लड़ाई चल रही है, वो अपना हिंदुस्तान को डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, उसमें कभी कभी एक वो 5-10 सेकंड का अगर वो निकाल दो तो उसने कुछ गलत होना का। वो हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान उस सर्कमस्टांसेस की एक विक्टिम है कि उसने वो बोला, लेकिन उसके बाद उसके खिलाफ एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी खड़ी हो गई है। कोई लड़ाई तो नहीं हुई दो ग्रुप में, कोई पूरे हिंदुस्तान में कोई दंगा नहीं हुआ इस बात पे, तो फिर किस बात की वो सजा दी जा रही है।
All right, next up, let's take you across the northeast of India that is still reeling under the rain pain. Here's your monsoon tracker. Well, first up, our focus on Assam. The state continues to battle devastating first wave of floods, with nearly 7 lakh people affected so far across 21 districts of the state. The death toll in Assam currently stands at 19, whilst 1 person remains missing in Kachar. Major rivers, including the Brahmaputra at 3 locations and Barak in Kachar, are flowing above the danger levels. The situation is worsening in districts like Shribhumi, Nagaon, Hailakandi and Kachar, where thousands are marooned Authorities have set up 405 different relief camps that are currently housing over 40,000 people, whilst over 1.12 lakh relief distribution centres are active across the state. The floods have submerged more than 14,900 hectares of cropland and affected over 5 lakh animals as well. Infrastructural damage is widespread. Roads, bridges, power lines severely impacted. Train services in southern Assam, especially near Silchar, are hit due to waterlogging on the tracks. Whilst long-distance trains are still operational, several passenger services have been cancelled. Experienced severe flooding but is on high alert due to rising water levels in Assam's Barak Valley, which is hydrologically connected to southern Manipur region. Imphal continues to be flooded. Districts like Jiribam, Tamenglong, which share the river systems with Assam, are closely monitoring the situation in the neighbouring state. The state disaster teams have been asked to remain on standby as increased rainfall is forecast over the next few days. Landslides have been reportedly coming across in hilly terrain, disrupting road access to some interior villages. Preventive evacuation plans have been drafted for low-lying riverbank areas. Meanwhile, in Arunachal Pradesh, the state has reported intermittent landslides and the rising water levels in rivers originating again near the Assam border, such as in Pasighat, Itanagar and the lower Dibang Valley. The state administration has been alerted to rising threats due to heavy upstream rainfall, and whilst no mass displacements have occurred so far, concerns remain about connectivity issues with roads and bridges vulnerable to landslide-related disruptions. The State Disaster Response Force and the local officials are keeping a close watch, especially in the districts adjacent to flooded Assam at this point in time. Meanwhile, Sikkim remains relatively calm but vigilant as well as the monsoon continues to intensify. Earlier, landslides had claimed the lives of 3 army men as well, several bridges that had collapsed, and the authorities are monitoring the Tista river system closely, especially in North and East Sikkim. The past experience with glacial lake outbursts and landslides has prompted early preparedness measures. The weather alerts have been issued for moderate to heavy rainfall that is going to continue, and the Army and the National Disaster Relief Force are prepared to assist if needed. The Sikkim government has advised citizens living in vulnerable zones to stay alert and avoid travel during heavy downpours. Well, the Pran Pratishtha of Lord Ram and other deities in the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi complex is underway. And the event, it was earlier being led by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Let's tell you all about it. This is the second Pran Pratishtha event at the temple in over a year, with the first one that took place last January. Ayodhya is also celebrating the Travodashi birth anniversary of the Saryu River. The event coincides with the 53rd birthday of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. And over the past 8 years, Ayodhya has seen development projects exceeding 32,000 crore rupees falling in its lot, with a considerable chunk of it spent on road, rail and air connectivity. The district administration has already put the city under a comprehensive security cover in anticipation of large crowd that is going to be visiting Ayodhya today and tomorrow.